Imagine where the world experiences nuclear warfare and forces those remaining underground to survive, where the only thing that roams the surface are mutant creatures and the atmosphere is filled with toxins. This is where our story begins with Metro 2033. Let us take a deeper look to see if this is a game for you or not. Of course, no major story spoilers will be given. The year is 2033 in Moscow, Russia. Life isn't easy as those who remained from the nuclear war taking place 20 years ago pack into these metro stations. Creatures have overrun the surface world and roam in the darkness of the metro tunnels. We meet our main character, Artyom, a young man who has lived majority of his life underground. He is approached by a ranger asking for his help. This is where Artyom sets out on a journey to help the greater good for humankind. That is all I will say about the plot. In the beginning, it left me pondering after an hour or two. Do I continue, or is this game not for me? Thankfully, I decided to stick it out a bit longer to see if things would change. Because it seems to be a slow build, but it does have some unusual events take place that it sparked an intrigue in me wanting to learn more. I know that sounds very bland, but let me tell you, there are things that happen in this game you would not expect, and it works. The story plays out in a chapter format as Artyom gives voiceovers as he records his thoughts in a journal-like fashion between missions that make up the chapters. There is a total of 7 chapters, and I found myself beating this game roughly in about 7 to 8 hours.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
I will warn you, it has a bit of a learning curve because it does seem to have a realistic style to the game when it comes to combat. Every single bullet counts, so shoot wisely. Resources are scarce. After all, this is an apocalyptic setting. Enemies are tough, where they can take you out rather quickly. I was only playing on the easier of the 2 settings at that. I couldn't imagine what it takes to play on the harder one. You gotta be built different and have the patience of a Buddhist monk or something. I did like how you have the options to go throughout where you could take the stealthy approach or go loud and proud. But like I said, bullets are scarce, so is healing, so just take that into thought. Throughout, you'd get some really cool gear here and there. One of my favorite things that I got...
industrial strength night vision goggles.
You want to talk about a game changer? The world is a very eerie and dark place to adventure in. Majority of it will be underground in the metro tunnels of Moscow. This isn't exactly a horror game, but it does have some spooky moments here and there. I'm not one for horror games, as I admit I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to those, but I managed to get through this one just fine. So if you are not a fan of horror like me, I would say it's going to be okay. Just a few jump scares periodically. Also, for those people afraid of spiders, you might want to keep away from this one. I hate the bat, and they're everywhere in this game. Overall, I'd say if you like what you heard about this game, you should probably look to pick it up. I got this game for less than $5, but when I checked the sale prices around Black Friday, the game was going for $2, which is crazy, because for that price, I'd say it was a steal. Considering how old this game is, it's well made for the most part. The sound design is great, from sound effects to the music score. The combat really isn't my favorite, but I've seen worse at other games. Then for the story, it's a good one, and it left me curious to check out the next game in the series. The best way to describe this game is it's kind of like a Russian Fallout, but instead of being able to free roam the world, it has a linear story, so there's not much exploring to be done. Let me know what your thoughts are on Metro 2033. But most importantly, remember to take care of yourself. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will appear right on your screen here.